Last summer, 60% of registered voters approved of Governor Cuomo's job performance. Tonight, in a new Emerson poll you'll only see on News 8, those numbers tell a much different story.
That's right. The new poll found just 38% of New Yorkers approve of the job he's doing, while 48% disapprove, and around 14% still aren't sure. Now, the poll did provide some other telling numbers. Jack Watson read through it all and joins us now with more on that. Jack.
That's right, Adam. The governor's dropping approval rating, just one of the telling new findings from this poll, as the governor faces several mounting crises, his future in politics now in question.
It looks like for the governor that voters don't necessarily want to throw him out, but they know that this was probably going to be his last run as governor.
That's Emerson College polling director Spencer Kimball. The findings of today's poll don't bode well for Governor Cuomo. While there's not a majority calling for his immediate resignation, come 2022, a slim majority of Democrats say they would re-elect the governor. A whopping 77% of independents would not. But amid all the scandals, New Yorkers still prioritize the COVID vaccine rollout over a Cuomo investigation.
It speaks to what people's concerns are right now, and that's COVID. And when they're looking at this issue, it might be getting a lot of attention in the media, but what people really want to see is this COVID response taken care of and the nursing home issue.
But if we're talking about surviving and having an election in which he wins a fourth term, I don't think so.
Nazareth College political science professor Tim Nealon says he doesn't see Cuomo resigning, but the results of today's poll mean the governor's political ambitions are on life support.
It shows that people are paying attention and that they're troubled by what they're hearing about his handling of the nursing home crisis and how he may have tried to cover it up. I think they're also aware of the way that he denied the allegations against him, but then came out with an apology, which seemed to indicate that, yeah, he did, in fact, do or say some things that were probably not above reproach.
Well, one more interesting number to come out of this poll is this week's allegations of sexual harassment brought national scrutiny to Governor Cuomo. A larger share of men than women think Cuomo should resign over those allegations, 41% of men and 33% of women.
Very interesting. Jack Watson, thank you for that report. And we've placed a breakdown of the entire poll, the entire survey, the results, all of that over at our website, rochesterfirst.com. And we get into a lot of things, including the nursing home issue. And again, all of that over at rochesterfirst.com.
Today, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called the sexual harassment allegations against the governor serious, but Schumer would not comment when asked if Cuomo should resign.
Look, the allegations that have been made by Ms. Rush and Ms. Boylan and Ms. Bennett are serious, very troubling. These women have to be listened to. I've always believed that sexual harassment is not acceptable, must not be tolerated. Look, the bottom line is, just let me say on this issue, I have a great deal of faith in the Attorney General's investigation.
Meanwhile, state lawmakers have announced new legislation that would immediately repeal Governor Cuomo's executive powers, the emergency powers. Cuomo was given those powers at the start of the pandemic nearly a year ago. Among those looking to pull those powers, fellow Democrat Assemblymember Harry Bronson. Even though the emergency powers are due to expire at the end of April, Bronson says given the recent events, those powers should be revoked now.
So to some degree, the underreporting of the nursing home deaths, keeping families separated through a directive that he issued from their loved ones in nursing homes, and then the most recent allegations of harassing behavior. All of those have contributed to the loss of public trust. And so, this in part is a step to try to restore that public trust.
As for when this might actually get passed, the legislation has to age 3 days, which means a vote could come as soon as Friday.